The bill didn't come. He asked for the bill, and in French he said 2 bills. And then so they came, and I was like, if someone says, I want to take you out, then I want to be taken out, which means to me to pay and whatever. So we did that. I paid, and it's fine.
Wait. Let me get this straight. You are sitting here crying because a man went 50-50 with you on a date. I swear, guys, these clips that we see from modern women are getting more and more ridiculous by the day. It's all, I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man until we're pushing 30. And then the bill comes. And then, of course, we have to cry about it. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and on today's episode I have some more ridiculous clips from modern women over on TikTok for you here today. So without further ado, let's jump into this first one. Hopefully we don't lose too many brain cells. Let's take a listen.
Person in the relationship who cares less holds all of the power. Whenever one person is overly invested, like they're always the ones texting first, they're always the one making plans, they're always the one asking to hang out, bending over backward in order to make things work, that person lacks control of the relationship. And eventually that person's gonna end up resenting the other person because they're like, why am I putting in all the work when you're not doing anything? If you are in that situation, this is exactly what you need to do. I'm not gonna say don't care, because obviously you still care, and
I have a sneaking suspicion, guys, that the women who give out this sort of advice, they're not even in relationships in the first place. They're just out here chasing men who don't want them, who don't want to have any sort of serious commitment with them, and they still come out here with this dating advice. You know, the men just aren't interested men, but yet they still create these TikTok videos. They're still like, oh, who controls the relationship dynamic? I mean, over half of these women don't even have a damn relationship to begin with. It's a complete waste of time. But I always find it funny how you have these women giving TikTok advice, and you already know they are chronically single or just going from one guy to the next one. Hilarious.
Situation, this is exactly what you need to do. I'm not going to say don't care, because obviously you still care, and let's be honest, that never works. But there are ways to detach, there are ways to take your energy back, to see if that person would even show up for you. As someone who has recently been in this exact situation, I realized, I was like, hold on, I'm literally the one always like, oh, let's do something, let's make plans. I'm like, this isn't me, I don't do this.
Yes, you do. Pretty much every single modern woman does this when she's out here dating, okay? Because women, quite often, are chasing dudes who have no interest in them. If you guys look at the way that women behave and the types of men that they select, the men that women select, of course, have, number one, they have no interest, no reason to be interested in these women. But number two, these are guys who typically have a lot of options, who are quite attractive and things like this. So they're in competition with a whole bunch of other women. And of course, the men don't have to do anything. This is why women always get, complain about getting these texts and messages on dating applications and stuff like, oh, just come on over. And the dudes only seem to be interested in one thing. It's because they know that the women who are interested in them are just going to put in all the effort anyway. You see, what's happened is with all of this strength and empowerment, and you can go hook up with any guy, it's totally fine. Nobody's going to judge you. With all of that, men actually don't have to put in any effort for the majority of women. They simply don't. They just sit there and they, the dudes at the top, they just let the women who are interested come to them. And for the guys remaining, a lot of them just aren't interested in dating modern women, to be honest.
The one always like, oh, let's do something, let's make plans. I'm like, this isn't me, I don't do this. So I reclaimed my energy, basically made this man act how I want him to act. And let me just say, this hasn't been the case in every situation. If you take a step back and that person does not step up, you have your answer right there that this was only ever going to be a one-sided relationship.
I guarantee you that this woman didn't even manage to get a relationship out of this guy, by the way. She's like, yeah, I got him to invest more. Let's be honest, even if she did get a relationship out of this dude, it would never last. You can tell as soon as women make these videos, man, that they're never going to be able to have anything serious long-term, right? They're too argumentative. They've been with too many dudes. They're too assertive. A lot of them are feminists and things like this. It's never going to work out long-term. These women are fundamentally undateable. You can't marry them. You can't have long-term relationships with them. And men who do try go and, they try and go out here and do this, they realize oftentimes the hard way that these women are simply damaged beyond repair. They've simply been with too many dudes. You're not going to be, dude number 17 and things are going to go smooth sailing and work out for you. These women are absolute headaches, man.
But if you take a step back and that person's like, wait a minute, come back, I miss you, that is when you get your clarity. You can't always be the one holding up the relationship, and sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing this. If you are the one always pushing the relationship forward, this person has learned that they don't have to do very much to keep you. Stop texting first, stop making plans, stop asking them to see you. Let them literally live their lives and see how they act.
I love how women tell on themselves in these videos, guys, because if you listen to most women when they're talking about the men that they want to date, what do they say that they want from men? Here are the requirements. You need to do the bare minimum. We've heard all this crap before, right? They'll come out here and say, well, as a man, you need to plan the dates, right? You need to pay 100% of the date. Don't go 50-50 because that's an ick. And all of these sorts of things. You can't invite her straight over to your place. You have to put in some effort, some chivalry, some romance, really sweep her off her feet. But let's examine what women are actually doing. What are women actually doing? When women are interested in you, they make the plans. They rock up. They put in the effort. They do a lot of the heavy lifting. Things just become super damn easy. And yet, at the same time, women like this will make videos talking about, well, here are all of the things that men need to do. But you know what a lot of guys have realized? Number one, it's not worth doing. And number two, there's no reason to be doing it in the first place oftentimes. If your argument is like, well, we need men to do all of these things, they need to do the bare minimum. My question to this is always like, why? Okay, men need to put in more effort for you. But what exactly do they get in return? Because oftentimes, guys, it's very little. It's someone who's argumentative, someone who's horrible to be around, and a lot of guys have just opted out.
Stop asking them to see you. Let them literally live their lives and see how they act. This is the only way that you are going to get your clarity. If this person doesn't make up for the energy that you have invested, that person was never interested to begin with. You will learn very quickly whether or not that person likes you by the amount of effort that they push forward. Sometimes it takes stepping back for them to appreciate in your absence how much they actually liked you.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. A lot of these men don't need to put in any effort whatsoever. I see these videos all the time talking about, oh, men need to do this, men need to do that. But again, they're chasing the dudes who put in no effort to begin with. So why should the rest of men, pay full price and put in all of the effort? Check this next one out here. Male attention means nothing. I'm sure this is going to be a pleasant one. The woman, she already looks pissed off. Let's take a listen. I think this is a short one.
Male attention means nothing because they give it out like it's nothing. They will give out attention to anything that has a pulse. Just because they like your story or they tell you you're so pretty, that does not mean they like you at all. It's a numbers game for a lot of these guys. Like, just going to be giving out attention to as many girls as they can just to see who bites.
Yeah, see, I actually agree to an extent with this, right? You have a lot of guys who get a lot of attention from women, and what they're doing is, they don't care. They'll throw out the validation, they'll throw out the compliments and things like this. And a lot of these guys don't mean it whatsoever. They're just telling you what they think you want to hear. And a lot of women are like, oh, well, he finally really likes me. No, they don't. No, they don't, man. And the funny thing is, the men who actually give the validation, right? Who tell women that they're pretty, and these guys like genuinely mean it, and they want to put in all the effort, and they want to treat these women like princesses and all of these sorts of things. These are the men who, ironically enough, get ignored. It's funny, guys, because the men who don't mean it oftentimes get all the women, and the dudes who do mean it, well, the women think that they're above those men. Very funny. Let's continue into this next clip. Woman ranting in the car. Here's an insane piece of dating advice that we don't hear very often. All right, hit me with it.
Insane piece of dating advice that we don't hear very often. If you're not attracted to them, you don't have to go out with them. You don't have to go out with them because maybe a spark will grow. You don't have to go out with them because maybe they're a nice guy. What I find so funny is, do you ever hear men like talking to their boys and being like, well, maybe she's a good person, encouraging their buddies to go out with girls that they don't think are attractive? No, men will be the first to comment like on a girl's looks to their buddies if they don't think she's attractive.
I don't know about that, to be honest with you. I don't think dudes are going to, if you have a woman who's not a supermodel or something like this, she's just an average woman, A lot of guys are not going to sit there and go, oh, she's ugly, don't date her. This isn't something that men sit around and do. I don't know. This woman just seems like she's projecting, to be honest, man. I've noticed that modern women tend to really overestimate how much men require women to have good looks for a relationship. Like, obviously guys care about looks. I'm not saying that they don't. That's stupid. Men obviously do care about how women look, but you don't need to be like this some hyper attractive woman. And a lot of guys are not going to sit there and talk their friends out of dating women because of, you know, they might not be supermodel quality or anything like this. That doesn't realistically happen. You know, if your friend's happy, it's, you know, a lot of guys will be like, whatever, he's happy. It is what it is. She seems nice. Done. It's dusted. It's whatever. This is actually something that women tend to do more of. And just by the way, the reason why women do this crap where they go on dates and they try and see if the spark will grow, right? They try and see if they'll actually become attracted to the man. Usually why they do this is because they're pushing 30 and they need some resources now, okay? They need that dude who's going to look after her, who's going to have a relationship with her, finance her life, and so on. And oftentimes these women are not attracted to these men whatsoever, but they need their resources, you see? So they'll go on these dates and try and make the spark grow and things like this. They never cared about doing this when they were in their early 20s, by the way. You ever noticed that? Women don't care about trying to make it work with the nice man when they're like 22, do they? No. It's always when they're pushing 30, you know, they're 27, they're realizing that the streets are getting a little bit cold, they need to have children, they need to get married and so on. And now she'll sit down and try and make the sparks grow with some dude. Like, yeah, okay. I think we all know what the women are doing.
The first to comment like on a girl's looks to their buddies if they don't think she's attractive. It's almost like if you're a girl and you have that want to settle down, get married, have kids, people are like, well, you need to give every man who is interested in you a chance. If that's
nobody says this. Nobody says that women have to give every guy a chance. Obviously, women have so much attention from men. If they were to give every guy a chance, they would simply have no time. You know, like people aren't out here like saying, oh, just get with the first nice man and you have to open your legs to this guy. That's not what people are saying. In fact, people are encouraging women to choose wisely. But, you know, people are making the point that, hey, yes, women are overlooking a lot of men who would give them a secure relationship. And that is true. That is absolutely true, man. A lot of women could have that secure relationship when she was 18 if they wanted to. But they screw around until they're like 27. And now, once they've been through a whole bunch of dudes, now they want to settle down. And of course, that doesn't work. It never will.
That's what you really want. No, we are also allowed to want to date guys where we think there is attraction. Now, in no means am I saying that you need to hold out for the perfect 10 and your perfect ideal man. But there needs to be some baseline of attraction there.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. Modern women's baseline of attraction has only gotten more and more stupid over the years. Like, let's be real about it, guys. This is what happens when you put women on dating applications where they can get endless attention from highly attractive men. Is it ruins any man who's in the average, quote unquote, average bucket. Okay? When you're on dating applications and you're hooking up with dudes who are well out of your league, who are highly attractive, if you have a guy who's actually on her level, she can't be attracted to him anymore. That's the problem. You know, women's baseline for attraction is oftentimes incredibly high. And even if it's not incredibly high, let's just say it's on the lower end of high, the women themselves might not deserve that, to be honest. Like, a lot of women vastly overestimate the type of quality of man that they think that they're going to be able to get. You know, oh, I need to deserve to be attracted to the man that I get with. It's like, yeah, okay, but you've been with 40 dudes who are highly attractive. How is this guy who, you know, who is more on the average end, I hate to use that word, but who's more on the average end, how's he ever going to be attractive to you? You've essentially ruined your preferences for the physical qualities of a man.
Attraction for a man, it doesn't scale like if he's going to be like a good guy or not. Because trust me, I am in Are We Dating the Same Guy, Nashville, and I'm sure other cities can relate. Some of the pictures I see, is anyone talking to this man? Is this someone's man? Yeah, men will play you no matter what they look like. And if I'm going to be played by someone, I'd at least like to think they're a little bit hot. Oh, and just like a little side note, yes, attraction can grow. I do think that. And maybe that's in a cute, like, friends to lovers kind of thing. Off the baseline, sign if you are going through your likes on Hinge and looking at who you want to go out with. If you are not attracted to that person, stop feeling guilty for not wanting to do it. Told you, advice was going to be a little insane.
Yeah, okay, well, you let me know how that works out for you, madam. And, you know, people often do say this. They're like, guys, why can't women go out here and just date the men that they're attracted to? It's because women have fried their brains with the endless amount of validation and attention that they receive online. Their version of attractive is someone who is quite honestly well out of their damn league a lot of the times. That's the real kicker about this situation, guys, is men and women actually have very different baselines for what we find attractive. The average woman does not find the average man attractive. You can have a woman who is average and she's not going to be attracted to her equivalent, so to speak, especially the ones who are like 27, man, you know, still on Hinge, still dating, still completely failing. But speaking of completely failing and, you know, not making any progress whatsoever, we have this woman here. What the hell is this? I just want a gentleman. Let's take a listen.
I went on a date and it's like, it was good. And then yet, like, I'm just tired of, like, I don't know. The bill came. The bill didn't come. He asked for the bill. And in French, he said 2 bills. And then so they came. And I was like, if someone says, I want to take you out, then I want to be taken out, which means to me to pay and whatever. So we did that. I paid and it's fine.
Wait. Let me get this straight. You are sitting here crying because a man went 50-50 with you on a date. I swear, guys, these clips that we see from modern women are getting more and more ridiculous by the day. It's all, I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man until we're pushing 30. And then the bill comes. And then, of course, we have to cry about it.
It's to me to pay and whatever. So we did that. I paid and it's fine. And then after I was honest and I just said it, like, I don't know, because I said, like, yeah, I thought you were going to take me out. And like, to me, that means pay. And then suddenly his English wasn't so good anymore. When he was like, I don't understand what you mean. I was honest and like, whatever, what else do I have to lose? I just want to be honest because there's a way that I want to be treated. And like, I might as well just tell someone, like, what else do I have to lose?
This woman's a complete psycho, man. I guarantee you, this dude, he probably understood the English just fine. He just thought you were stupid for asking the question. You know, oh, I thought this man was going to take me out. He has to pay. No. This is 2025, guys, the year that we're in now. You know, the year of equality. And I find this funny because, you know, women demand this traditional treatment, right? They expect the dude to cover the bill. They expect the dude to hold the car door open for her, to plan the date, and so on and so forth. But the moment that a man has an expectation of a woman, it's a problem. You know, that's really what it boils down to. It's like, okay, I'm supposed to do these traditional things for you. How many dudes have you been with? And guys, let's be honest, a lot of them have been with a hell of a lot of men, and they're expecting to be out here being treated like a princess. It's like, wait a minute. So dudes are expected to give princess treatment to women who are in no way, shape, or form a princess. I just find this so hilarious, man. Like, it's so backwards. I'm not coming out here saying that women have to be any particular way, but here's the thing. If you're going to make demands of men, they should be able to make demands of you. I think that's only fair. I really do. You know, like, it really isn't fair for men to come out here and provide for women who are like 27 years of age, single, perpetual daters who are complaining about men not covering the bill for them. It's completely ridiculous. I think men are getting the short end of the stick. I just want a gentleman. Yeah, okay.
I understand what you mean. I was honest and like, whatever, what else do I have to lose? I just want to be honest because there's a way that I want to be treated. And like, I might as well just tell someone, like, what else do I have to lose? I don't know. And then like afterwards, he was like, next time I'll pay. Like, unprompted, he said that after we were having another conversation. I said, okay. And then he said, are you free this week? And I said, yeah. And then I texted him after and I'm like, I had a nice time, thanks. And then he read it and didn't respond. And it's like, okay, I don't know. Like, I'm just tired of... I'm happy I was honest.
Yeah, see, this guy, you know what? He probably heard you say this nonsense of like, oh, yo, I expected you to pay. What's, you know, and he probably got the sense that you were with him because you were looking for a man to pay for your crap. and then he just bounced. I mean, a lot of guys actually do this. You know, people talk all the time about women's tests and things like this, and they're trying to make you pay for the dinner date. Guess what? A lot of guys will actually test women as well. And if they get the sense that you're really only looking to be provided for, they're just going to leave, man. You know, the dudes who are essentially getting treated like free meal tickets, women have done this so much, guys. They have really ruined this for themselves, because here's the thing. As far as I understand, men used to really not mind taking women out to dates, you know, paying for things and so on and so forth. But a lot of women have just absolutely abused that. You know, you can take a woman out to dinner, you can pay for absolutely everything. She'll give you a kiss on the cheek, right? And say, thanks, had a great time. And you'll never hear from her again. And then she'll go, that exact same night, she'll go hook up with some other dude who didn't have to buy her anything. It's like, at a certain point, why are men putting in the effort and taking these women out on dates in the first place, man? You know, like, there's just no reason for men to be doing this, unfortunately, a lot of the times. Now, I'm not saying if you're a dude and you're out there braving the dating world, I'm not saying that you can't do this. Knock yourself out. I'm not here to tell people what to do. But a lot of guys are absolutely getting used. You know, they're getting used for the free food dates and things like this. And meanwhile, these same women will go hook up with the men that they're actually attracted to afterwards. Let's run that last bit again. This is funny, man. I can't believe this woman is crying about this, by the way.
Like, next time I'll pay. Like, unprompted, he said that after we were having another conversation. I said, okay. And then he said, are you free this week? And I said,
I guarantee you this was not unprompted, by the way.
yeah. And then I texted him after, and I'm like, I had a nice time, thanks. And then he read it and didn't respond. And it's like, okay, I don't know. Like, I'm just tired of...
She's tired, guys. She's exhausted. I've actually heard a lot of women describe dating as tiring and exhausting. And so the reason why they say this is because, you know, they're just really tired of Chad not wanting to commit and settle down and have a relationship with them. You know, they're emotionally exhausted, dare I say spiritually exhausted, because a lot of them, what they're doing is they're going out here, giving their bodies to dudes, you know, giving their minds to these men, okay, falling head over heels for men who don't even have to commit to them. Like, these women have such little self-respect, man. It kind of reminds me, this is like the male equivalent of going out here and flexing money and just spending a ridiculous amount of money on women for no reason in the hopes that they like you. That's the male equivalent. Women are out here just giving their bodies to dudes, you know, and so on, trying to get men to like them and have a long-term relationship with them. But the only thing is, this is just going, the dudes are just going to have their fun and leave. That's really what's going to happen. The dudes are going to have their fun with you. They're going to bounce. In the same way that if you've got a dude out here flexing Lamborghinis and paying a woman's bills so in the hopes that she will like you, what's going to happen is the women are just going to use you for money. This is just basic human nature, to be honest. And I say use you, by the way, but let's be real about it. A lot of these women actually want to hook up with these guys anyway, so I don't really even believe their victimhood card as far as this is concerned. Let's check this one out now. This woman is in the middle of telling us about a dating story. These are always so stupid, man. They make absolutely no sense. Let's jump in.
I will tell you guys the full story, and if you can believe it, it actually got worse. After Winnie the Pooh, I was trying so hard not to laugh, but, you know, I got to see it through. Immediately afterwards, the deed is done. He says 3 things in rapid succession that I could not believe. Number 1, he says, I really didn't think you were going to let me have sex with you. First of all, what is that language? Hello, are we active participant here? I said, why? And he's like, well, it's just that you're so good. You know, I don't want to say that, like, you seem like a prude. And I was like, you didn't think I was so easy? And he's like, no, that's not what I mean.
It's absolutely what he meant, by the way. He thought that perhaps, you know, you didn't hook up with dudes on the first date. He thought that perhaps you had a little bit more self-respect, and obviously you didn't. Actually, guys, there are so many women out there, man, who put on like this face and they come across like, oh, they would never do such a thing. You know, you've got to take them out on dates. You have to do all of these sorts of different things. But women absolutely are just giving it up left and right to random dudes that they meet on Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, whatever other applications there are, right? they are absolutely giving themselves to these men. But they like to put on this facade that men have to do a lot for them. But the thing is, all of these standards, quote unquote standards that modern women have, they only apply to the men that they're not attracted to. That's really what it boils down to.
That is exactly what he meant. And then he said, I didn't think you were such a freak. Okay. And the third thing he said was complaining about the protection. He was like, I really wanted to ask to take it off, but I didn't want you to, feel some type of way. And I was like, well, I would never. That's not okay. It's not safe.
She absolutely would, right? Like, guys, women just say this crap. I'm telling you, so many of these women just say crap, but I don't believe it, man. I don't believe that these women are safe all the times when they're hooking up, all the time when they're hooking up with these dudes. Again, different standards for different men is really what it boils down to.
And he was like, what? I'm the safest guy around. I've never been exposed. And I just looked at him and I said, you really think that every woman that you meet is on birth control, huh? And he's like, oh, you're not on birth control. Eye roll. The contempt that he had for the fact that I said that. And then he was just like, yeah, just condoms are so hard. Like, really, it's like half the sensation. And let me tell you, this man did not expect a woman like me, because I looked at him and literally went, oh, was that hard for you? Was that unpleasant? Did you not have fun? And it doesn't stop there, okay? It says so many offensive things that I don't even know if I can remember them all. He goes on a rant about girls on dating apps and how you can just tell that some girls like on dating apps are just really like, you can tell which ones. And he's kind of hesitating. And I said, are you about to say something really misogynistic?
Oh, guys, she's pulling out the mahogany card. These women are so lost. They have such little amounts of self-respect, and this is why I don't feel sorry for like single mothers and things like this, guys, because oftentimes what the women are actually doing is they don't even like the men that they're hooking up with, really. Oftentimes these men are not the nicest men. They're not the most charming men. They're not the most, he's not some comedian trying to make her laugh, because apparently men have to impress women by making them laugh these days. Guys, that's what women really like, a comedian. Like, again, these women are just hooking up with whoever they're attracted to. Like, let's not get it confused here. Like, this guy, she doesn't even like him on a basic level. She has no idea of the ways that he thinks or the things that he says, and yet she still ended up hooking up with him. This is the story of modern women, guys. A lot of them do absolutely zero vetting when it comes to the men that they give access to, which is crazy to me, considering giving access to yourself has such high levels of consequences. Even if you don't have a child by accident, okay, which is obviously a very high consequence of doing this, these women are damaging themselves every time they do this. Every time they go out there and hook up with some random dude who quite clearly doesn't care about them. Let me just say this. This cannot be good for women psychologically. I mean, we know that it ruins their chance at having long-term marriages and things like this, man. But again, this is why I don't feel sympathy for these women. They complain about how these dudes are narcissistic and horrible, and he's so mean. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, okay, he didn't force you to hook up with him. This was your own choice.
He's like, no. You can tell which ones are shallow. And I was like, okay, ding, ding, ding. There it is. And then we go on. He asks me, what are you looking for right now, dating wise? And I basically said, I'm very open to a lot of things now. I could be open to a friend with benefits, but I also could be open to finding my soulmate and getting married.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. This is the thing, man. Why would any self-respecting dude want to marry a woman who has previously been open to the idea of friends with benefits? Women cannot conceptualize this, man. It's just crazy to me that women can't understand how off-putting this is to men. I see so many videos of women complaining that they can't get commitment, and then they do crap like this. They're sitting here saying, oh yeah, I'm open to friends with benefits, but at the same time, I'm just keeping my eyes out for my husband. This runs away quality men. This absolutely does. The dudes who make a lot of money, right? Who are tall, attractive, successful, the types of men that women really want. This reduces their chance of getting with these men from like 0.5% to essentially zero, like 0.05 chance. You know, the dude has to be like terminally ill or something. But it's just crazy, guys. Women cannot conceptualize how much this damages their chances of actually getting a dude. And many of them say, well, I don't care about getting a man. I don't need no man, despite the fact that she's half looking to marry and settle down and things like this. But I guarantee you guys, these women certainly start to care as they go into their early 30s. Then they definitely care.
And I said, because my daughter is 6 now,
Oh my goodness, we're a single mother as well.
Said it feels feels a little bit more possible because she kind of understands the concept of a blended family. And
what?
She even said something really cute the other day. I said that she told me, Mom, if you marry a girl and Dad marries a girl, I'll have 3 moms, which was like so adorable. And I was like, Violet, that's arguably too many moms. But she was like, it sounds fun. I tell him this and he goes, oh. And I was like, what? And he just moves on and he's like, do you want to marry a man or do you want to marry a woman? So much disdain. And I was like, rewind.
I mean, yeah, because you just hooked up with him, and like these women just have no idea what the hell is going on, do they? You know, the guy was probably a bit shocked because he probably thought that you were a straight woman. Little did he know that you're also interested in women as well. I mean, single mother to a 6-year-old, going out here looking with friends with benefits, but also open to the idea of marriage, calling men misogynistic. Crazy.
What was that O about? And he was like, I just could never imagine telling a child about my sexuality. And I was like, well, I haven't told my child about my sexuality. She doesn't know what bisexual means. Like, why would I tell her that? I believe she said that because her best friend has 2 moms. I think that's why she said that, okay? Then this douchebag remembers, oh, she's bisexual. So he's like, that's so hot. And I was like, you know, don't do that. Don't do that thing where you fetishize my sexuality. And he's like, look, it's just natural as a man. Oh my God. It's just natural as a man to, you know, a woman says she's into women. I'm gonna imagine her with a woman.
Isn't it crazy, guys, how women will... How long is this video? What is this? Like 1, 2... This video goes for 7 minutes, okay? This woman is... I'm not covering the whole thing. I'm pretty much done, man. But this video goes on for 7 minutes of this woman complaining about this guy. And it's just crazy to me how women can make a 7-minute video complaining about one person, and yet at the same time go out there and give that body, their body, to that exact same person. You know, it just displays such a low level of self-respect, man, that just really runs away men. And again, these women will say, oh, I don't care about finding a man. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.